All right, so we are going to look at the practice test for practice test two. And I'm not going to go through every single problem. I will give the answers to them all, but for some of these that are multiple choice or maybe definitions, I may just give you the answer and just move on. Okay, so for example, number one, just say which one is true or false. Number one is A. The next question two asks about the best way to obtain a sample. We're going to survey a random sample of people within each neighborhood. All right, number three, it says identify the lower limit in the sixth class. So you could label these if you wanted. So that's the sixth class. The lower limit is the smaller number, 60. Okay? Now, when I printed these, I didn't mean to print back and front. So I think I made it to where you could do just all fronts if you print it from Moodle. All right, so number four, they want frequency. They don't want us to do anything. I will acknowledge that there are 30 objects. So at the end of the day, when I add up all of my frequencies, I should get 30. So let's use that to check ourselves. As I mark these off, I'm going to just highlight them. Okay, so 15, 1, 2, 3. And I'm doing that, and if I happen to have forgotten one of the 15s, well, I can go back and highlight it and then add one. All right, 16, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 17s, 1, 2, 18s, 1, 2, 3. And I'm noticing I forgot one of my 17s, so I'll mark it. Make that a 3. Number of 19s. I don't see any 19s. All right, so I'll put a 0. 20s. 1, 2, 3. 21. 1, 2. 22. 1, 2, 3. 23. 1. 24. 25, 1, 2, 3. So that should have been all that was left. I did highlight that. Okay. So before I submit that answer, I'm going to add these all up. And then I'm going to do it again. Okay, I got 30. I'm pretty sure I'm right. I would add those numbers again and make sure I got it. Okay. Number 5, it wants to know the class width. Well, here's the weird thing about the class width. If I simply subtract 46 minus 40, I get 6, and that happens with any of these. Keep in mind that that first class contains 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46. So these are 7 items. So the class width is 7. Okay. You could say it's 46 minus 40 plus 1. but I think the safest thing to do is just count up how many items you got. Number 6, how many students had at least 50 social interactions? Now, I am kind of going through these fast. You can pause the video. A lot of the material was taught in other videos, so I'm just kind of trying to get through it as fast as possible. So how many students had at least 50 interactions? All right, so we got to look at where we should be looking, 50. At least 50 interactions would be these, 50 to 54, 55 to 56. Basically anything bigger than 50, which is all of these. Now the frequency is what I need to add up. These are the numbers we need to add. 6 plus 8 plus 1 plus 2. That's 17. Okay. Number 7. A random sample of 39 college students is selected. Each student is asked his height to the nearest inch. The heights are shown in the frequency table, distribution table, construct a histogram, and a frequency polygon. Okay, so notice these are multiple choice. I don't have to do all of these, but I want to check a few of these, like 66, 2. All right, well, 66, 0 is no good. 66, 8, whatever, that's too much. I'm going to cross them out. Now, this guy might work. 66, 2, maybe. 66, 4. Okay, so I've eliminated everything except for 1. Let's check something else. How about 70? Let's check 71 since on this graph it's large. So 71 looks to go at 8, and it does. So yeah, C is the answer. So I could play the same game. You could also look at which of these kind of looks like C. But I think I want to do exactly what I did before. I want to check 66, 2. 66, 2, that might work there. Notice it gets tied down at 0, so I'm not going to get confused there. 66, 4, no. 66, 0, no. 66, big, no. So it has to be big. Okay. Now, number 8, the frequency polygon to the right shows the distribution of IQ scores. Question is the statement true or false? The IQ scores that more people had than any other IQ score in which score falls off. Okay. This okay, they're saying the average or the mean, or they're saying the one that seems to be where the peak is 80, but the peak is at 100. So false. It's a kind of a weird question. Not sure if anyone else felt the same way. All right, here we got a stem and leaf plot, and it's got the actors and actresses. We did one of these. We looked at the same one, I believe, or I explained it, but I'll go through it again. Which is the age of the youngest actor to win the award? Okay, cool. I look at actors. All right. The stem is going to be the tens place, and each of these numbers is the ones place. So for instance, this is 21, 21, 24, 26, 26, 27. Notice there's nothing here for actors. So the youngest actor wasn't in his 20s, but he was in his 30s, so 31. Okay. What is the age difference between the oldest and youngest actress to win? So actress, we're going to do, it looks like 80 minus 21. So that would be 59. What is the oldest age shared by two actors? All right, so I'm looking at actors. I'm looking for repeats. There's only 1-8 there, 2-1-0. No. So we don't see a repeat until there, so that would be 58. What is the difference? What differences do you observe between the two stem and leaf plots? What explanation can you offer for these differences? There's a higher frequency of actors in their 40s and 50s. Yes. And a lower frequency in their 20s and 30s compared to actresses. Yes. So it's A. I'll let you read B and C. Those are not correct. Number 10. This is talking about misleading visuals in a display. Okay, I might have to look at this a little closer. All right, so describe what is misleading about this visual display. All right, so the world population in billions. So the numbers are kind of hard to read, but let's see. It looks like 1804, 1927, 1916, 1974. So there doesn't seem to be any kind of rhyme or reason for these dates. They're just kind of there. The difference between 1804 and 1927 is 123 years. Here it's a little less than 100. So that is our problem. The time intervals on the horizontal axis don't represent any equal amount of time. They're just kind of there. Okay. All right, now I went ahead and answered these, but I'll talk through them real quick. What is the population? What is the sample? These are just definitions. A population is everything. A sample is a subgroup. Okay. Sigma x over n, that just means add up all the x's and divide by the number. That's our mean. Number 13, determine whether the following statement is true or false. If it's false, make the change. Numbers representing what an average or typical about a data set are called the measures of central tendency. And that's true. That was kind of the title of that section. All right, so number 14, we got some stuff to do. All right, find the mean. Well, I'll show you what I will do, but most of you probably just going to do it in the calculator. All right, so we're going to do 89 plus 86 plus 88 plus 81 plus 86 plus 92 divided by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it is 6. Now, here's the thing. This is such an easy calculation, but be sure to do this top twice. Because anytime you have to add anytime you got to add several things, it's safest to do it a couple of times. Okay. This is going to be 522 over 6. I'm going to do that top again. 89 plus 86 plus 88 plus 81 plus 86 plus 92. Okay, I get 87. Number 14 says to round 3 decimal places. Well, I got a whole number, so I just leave it like that. All right. Here we go. Ooh. We did some of these in the homework. We found the mean given a distribution table. I'll show you a couple ways we could do this. Well, the first thing I mentioned in the notes this means that the score of 1 shows up twice, the score of 2 shows up once, the score of 3 shows up twice, the score of 4 is 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is 6 is 6, 7 is 3, and 8 is also 3. Now, you could just write out your data set like that and just add all of those numbers up and divide by my total. Now, I do have to add these up for my total. I could add these up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, I counted up 26, but I'm scared I made a mistake. So I'm going to use this and just add up all my frequencies. There's a bunch of numbers, so I'm going to do that a couple of times to make sure I didn't forget anything. I got 26, I'm probably fine, but I would add it again. All right, so I could add those up by hand, divide by 26. The way I'm going to show you is I'm going to use the fact that I know that these repeat. So like 1 times 2 plus 2 times 1 plus 3 times 2 plus 4 times 4 plus 5 times 5 plus 6 times 6 plus 7 times 3 plus 8 times 3 all over 26. Now, that's still a lot to type in. So I'm going to go ahead and do that multiplication for each of those pairs so that it's less to type, because I mean these little multiplications are easy. So 2, 2, and I'm going to double check it, 16, 25, 36, 21, 24. Okay. It's still a lot to type in. So even once I type this in, I'm going to do it again to make sure I didn't miss anything. So I got 132. I'm going to do it again. I'm going to make sure I get that. Okay, I got that again. I'm going to divide by 26. It says to round 3 decimal places. 5.08. Oh, I'm sorry, I went too short. 3 decimal places. I'm so used to doing 2 decimal places. 5.076923. 3 decimal places would stop here. Well, that 9 bumps us up. 077. Okay. All right. Now, what I will say very briefly is once you remember how we found the standard deviation using the calculator, you could do this in the calculator. I won't go through it because I'll show you use the calculator similar to how we did standard deviation. So when we get to standard deviation, I'll point it out, but you could use the calculator on these. Okay? So 5.077. Let's do one more, or at least one more. Number 16, for the following set of numbers, find the median. Okay? All we have to do first is put these in order. Okay? Let's do that. 34. As I do this, I'm going to underline or cross out the number. Maybe underline would be better. 39. I'm looking for all my 30s. Now I'll look for all my 40s. 146, 55, 59. Okay, how many do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Since we have 6 things, we have to take the 2 middles, find the average of those. 42 plus 46 over 2, that's 88 over 2, which is 44. So my median is 44. All right, so we're gonna probably stop this video here. It's already gone about 20 minutes. All right, so we'll stop that and continue with the video.